Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Corey. Corey is from England in the UK. So let's see what Corey has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello, Corey. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on. I'm really excited and looking forward to it.
So tell me, how was your day today?
Today, it was good. Yeah. My mum was poorly last night, so we had to take her to the hospital. But
Oh,
she was fine, and she got some antibiotics today. And I did the shopping for the family. Then I went to see my friends and watch the football in the pub. So it's been a good day.
amazing. So tell me, where are you from, Corey?
I'm from Sunderland in the UK,
Born and raised?
but born and raised here. I lived in London for 6 years. So I went to drama school, and then I did 3 years in London, and I came back home last year.
So tell me something interesting about your hometown, something that stands out compared with other places in the UK.
So Sunderland, I think probably two things. The football team has the best support in the world. If you've watched the Netflix documentary Sunderland Till I Die, you can kind of see the passion that everybody has up here for football.
Uh-huh.
And the interesting fact, the first electric light bulb was invented in Sunderland by Joseph Swan.
My God.
So,
Do you know what I like the most about England? There's always history. There's always a fun fact. There's always something that they invented. I love things about England. When I interview people around the UK, there's always something interesting. I loved it. I love when people embrace they're so proud of those moments. And I think that stay forever. People
I
know
think
that.
there's a lot of people that are maybe just embarrassed about Sunderland, and it's had a bad rap, and it definitely was not the best place, but it's been very redeveloped, and I'm really proud to be from here, and I'd
Wow.
love champion the Northeast.
Wow. And of course, when I was checking your profile, Corey, I could see you say that you are an actor and a journalist as well. So tell me a little bit more about your career, how everything started.
Yeah, so I trained as an actor. I've done acting since I was about 10 years old. Love being on the stage. Love that kind of, I guess, attention really, and the kind of I just love performing in any way. So I went to drama school, trained there, and when I graduated, I had quite a big mental breakdown, and I tried to take my own life, which was quite a dark period. And that probably's I still suffer with depression and other mental health issues, but for the 3 years after I graduated, I really struggled, and that was quite a difficult period in my life, especially for my family and stuff.
Mhm.
Then I rekindled a friendship with somebody up here called Carly, and she took me into the film industry as a runner, so like the bottom, getting the tees. Um, and she gave me that chance, and since then I've managed to work on loads of cool projects. But I'm very impatient, and I think I wasn't building and rising as fast as I wanted to. So I set up my own production company. I was very moved by what was happening in Ukraine and the stories there, which were really hard to hear. And we that was kind of where the idea started. Was seeing it on the news. Originally thought I was going to go and volunteer in some other capacity, but
Mhm.
then I kind of utilized my skills of the creative arts with what was happening, and realized that with these risks, you're not going to do much fighting. So making a documentary is a really good way to kind of show the world what is happening and give these people a voice, because I think with a lot of stuff that's going on in the world, with especially when with Gaza, Palestine thing, that took a lot of media attention, as it rightly should, but it meant that Ukraine didn't get any attention. And when you speak to people on the street, they don't realize. Some people I spoke to don't even realize there's a war still going on,
Wow.
which is crazy. And some of the stories we've heard, and these people, like some of them are millionaires living in lovely houses, and now they're refugees in Sunderland,
Wow.
and you can't really. We've had some really awful stories, and we saw some. pretty tough things while we're over there. But I
Well,
really hope the finished product gets to as many people as it can, and it shows the resilience and the courage of the Ukrainian people, as well as making people on board with Ukraine and their mission, and the fact that Putin wouldn't stop there. He's already started with Poland and Moldova flying drones in their airspace. He's messing with us, different things around our cables and mapping. So he wouldn't stop at Ukraine. He's a dictator, and he would just keep pushing on. And Ukraine are defending Europe for all of us. And I really hope that you can see that in the documentary, as well as see that there's a really impactful advert from Save the Children, where there's a little girl from England, and it goes through different stages of her life as a war breaks out in England, a fake war, and it ends with, just because it isn't happening here doesn't mean it's not happening. And I think we need to be reminded of that. We're very, I can't think of a better word than whiny and privileged, especially my generation. When you think of the sacrifices that our great grandparents made for us to have this life, we get offended, and we struggle with very basic things. And
mhm.
these people have none of that privilege, because they're fighting for what's right. And I think we need a bit more of that, especially my generation. Does that
Totally.
make sense?
I love it. I love Corey. I love, of course, I had a look a little bit in your videos, and I could see, the documentary, your points together. I could see some, on your videos, and I think it's amazing to do that. I think it's great, it's very inspiring. I had so many interviews here with people from Ukraine, from Ukrainians, and from Kiev, and we shared a lot of memories, we shared a lot of stories, a lot of things here on the show as well, and it's amazing. I had over, some people as well around Europe, the US, they are based now in Kiev, in Ukraine, helping others. There's a lovely man from Belgium that he was literally cycling all the way from Brussels, all the way to Ukraine to volunteer. So there are a lot of stories here on the show from people who somehow they are connected as well. I'm gonna send some links, some of the interviews. Maybe you could watch as well, because there's so many nice stories from
Yeah.
Kiev. It's great. I'll send some for you to have a look. It's very inspiring for them to share. Some of them, they are artists. They are sharing. They are living a life, also knowing that they are under attacks. And I think it's very inspiring. Someone like you doing the job you do. And
I didn't really answer one part of your question. I told you about being an actor, but being a journalist, that kind of happened by default, because I didn't.
mhm,
I saw myself as maybe as a filmmaker, but to kind of get access and stuff, you got to be a journalist, and I became a journalist, got accredited by the Ukrainian military. So we've got press passes. So when we go back, because I'm going to make more trips, you can kind of get better access and a lot more understanding that you've got good intentions.
amazing.
With what you said there, though, about art and culture, and different jobs that people have, that was really surprising, that you go to Kiev, and we went clubbing one night, and obviously till 11 o'clock, because the curfew's at 12. And then after we get home from clubbing, the air raid siren goes, and you can see these bombs landing, the drones and explosions, and there's just such a juxtaposition of life, but they're so resilient that
Very.
just sit and be like, yeah, that's a bomb, but we're not succumbing to that.
Well, yeah, I trust me. I heard some stories here, some interview with them, some lovely people from there, and the talk is really inspired, because the talk is okay. I'm sleeping, but I can hear some toof toof, some noises outside, and again, just who people who are facing that, they are living this way, they can describe, and they know what they're talking about. For us, be outside, of course, we have an idea, but who is living there, for sure, they can, the experience in a different way, for sure. Okay, Corey, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey so far, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
I can't wait.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Of random fun questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the interview, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. First question for you is, what do you like the most about yourself?
I think my ability to turn my hand to anything. I've had many different careers and many different hats in 25 years. And I think that I'll always give something a go, even if I've got no experience or it could be a massive flop. And I've had a lot of massive failures, but I'll always try my best and give it a go. I think that's probably my best. It's a blessing and a curse, but that's probably the thing I like about myself the most.
And you've always been this way, Corey?
Yeah, I think so. My nana, my mom, and me, though we lost my nana sadly this year, but we've all got that empathy in the big hearts in the family. No, nobody else in the family really has it the same way that us three have, but we like very. It feels arrogant almost to call myself selfless, but I would always put someone else above myself, and I have done that to the detriment of myself many times in my life.
I see. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Yes, of course. You can have a drink. Right. Next question is, tell me a negative thing that happened to you that came out as a positive thing in the end.
I've lived in London for 6 years, and I lost my job, got involved in a lot of the wrong things, and my mom and my sister came and they brought me home. At the time, I thought it was the worst thing in the world, and I hated it. I resented being here. But it was if my mom and my sister hadn't brought me home, I don't think I'd be here to be speaking to you now. So I'm very grateful that they did that. And I do miss my London life a bit, but I've fallen back in love with my hometown.
Wow. And of course, we got connected through social media. And when I was checking your profile a little bit, some of your videos, you talk very open about an event that somehow, you, as you mentioned in the beginning of the interview, about taking your own life. Are you okay to talk about it?
Absolutely, yeah.
About this event that's happened to you, and you talk very open on social media. If you could share a little bit more about maybe the day, or walk me through a little bit briefly about that event in your life that you talk very open on social media.
Yeah, I've never really gone into the specific. There's two times I had successful attempts on my life, and there was one time that was a big near miss, and I've never really gone into them. But the kind of dramatic one was I was on my 22nd birthday, and I ended up in a mental health crisis in psychosis state, destined and determined inside myself to take my own life. I was taken away by the police and put in hospital, and I escaped the hospital in London, and I ran out of, I think it's St Thomas and Guy's, and I ran to Westminster Bridge. And I can remember looking at the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben on my right and the hospital on my left. I think that's the right bridge, but you could see both. But I remember seeing the Houses of Parliament, and I took everything out of my pockets. I'd prior to this, because of the way I was. I'd written notes to everybody in my life, and they were all in a certain place, accessible. So I wanted to make sure that my phone was there, so all my photos would survive. And I think a big thing in my head about legacy, and I think photographs can really kind of give you that. So I emptied my pockets, put everything on my floor, on the floor of the bridge, and I put my hands on the bridge, and I had a big breath, and then I climbed up on the thing, and as I climbed up, I got pulled back, just as I was about to jump, and I remember like the tumble, and it was this big Swedish guy who was like huge, and he pulled me back, and he just grabbed me by the shoulders, and he looked at me, and he said, "It's okay, it's okay," and he just wrapped me in, give me a big hug.
Mm-hmm.
And as I kind of, sorry, we breathed, and he spoke to me, just a stranger, and he turned around and he said, "This is my wife and my two daughters," and the daughters were like 6 or 7, and seeing them two little girls that nearly just see me do that really hurt, and hit home a lot. And he sat, and the mother occupied the daughters, and he spoke to me, and I explained what had just happened, and he put his arm around me, gave me another cuddle, and he walked me back to the hospital, to where I needed to be, and he said some very nice things that I still remember, but kind of want to keep to myself.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And then he left, and I don't know his name. I don't know anything about him. I know he's Swedish, and they were visiting London, and
Wow.
that man saved my life, and without him, I wouldn't be here.
Wow.
That was a big catalyst of. There's another attempt after that, which was successful, and had to be brought back. But that was the big catalyst of change, where I think my family understood the severity, and
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to mask it any longer, because it became serious. Whereas before, it was very much with me and my partner, or in my own head. And it was so, looking back, it's so good that came out that way, because it was so internalized that I would have just went away and done it. So there's a lot of people throughout the past 3 or 4 years that I owe my life to, but that was a big one.
Wow. Thanks for sharing, Corey. I think it's not easy to talk about those situations, and of course, brings all the memories, and I think at the same time as well, when you talk, when you put it out, is about healing, helping others, because as you know very well, people. There's so many people going through situations that sometimes you look at them, you go like, my God, they're just living a normal life, and suddenly, we have our own, demons in our heads. We have our own problems, and sometimes, seeing someone like you, someone very full of energy right now, and doing something very beautiful for the Ukrainian community, not just for the Ukrainian community, for people around. I think I appreciate it when I look at your profile to see, I could feel your energy. Oh my God, you got this great energy to see people around and have a great time. And I think it's good. I think it's good to see. And again, we need to watch out, ourselves first. I think we need to first of all love ourselves, and also look after others as well, and having the great parts of life that you can. Not easy, as you know very well. We know we have our struggles. However, we need to embrace every day, knowing that we are unique, and we are here to to connect with others and smile and live this beautiful hour with others. So thanks for sharing. Thank you.
TikTok had like a twofold benefit. The first
Yeah,
being trying to post every day, kept myself accountable of doing good things, and made
yeah,
sure I got out of bed, because that was ended up where I was, that I just wouldn't get out of bed because I was so depressed.
uh-huh,
And the other thing is the sharing of being, whether it's with my peers, or people that knew me, and were like, oh my god, I had no idea, or
uh-huh,
other people that have reached out and have been struggling.
yeah,
And it's kind of created a little community, even though it's
totally.
only me and them. They don't know each other.
Yeah,
Probably got, I think I got about 160 messages in the first week I started posting, of people
wow,
struggling, which then became really overwhelming for me.
uh-huh,
And it's kind of chilled out now, but some of them have become friends, some of these people.
amazing. Yeah,
But it's nice that it was too much at the start, I think, but now it's kind of
yeah,
steady, casual, and I know, working with Mind, the mental health charity, I kind of know where to point people and where the help is. So I've become
tot-
an expert, and I'm really glad it's. There was one guy messaged and said, uh, and we spoke, and he said the next day that it's because of that conversation, he didn't take his own life, and that's like one of the biggest achievements I think I've
you
made.
see. You never know how many people you are, touching their lives, memories, and everything. So I think the main thing is be yourself, keep going, be your true self, showing, your real story, and people they would appreciate for sure. Nice one. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Next question. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, of course, be an actor. Let's do a little game. Let's pretend that you've got the biggest budget in your hand. Yeah, so money for you is not a problem. So you're gonna put together, let's say, a play or a scene or a short movie that you can cast anyone in the world. So you're gonna be part of it as well, okay? Of this
Yeah.
project, you're gonna play on it as well, and you can cast anyone to play your mom, any other to play your dads, also to play your romantic partner, and at the same time you can pay any director or producer in the world to help you to put this project together. So tell me those names. They don't need to look like your parents, but people who admire, that you'd like to work with in the business, in the movies business. So tell me those names.
I think my dad. That's a hard one. My I think my romantic partner, I choose Noah Shap from Stranger Things, because that he did a. I don't know if you've seen the new one, but that was, people have criticized it a lot, but I found it very emotional and moving,
Okay.
his scene. So, and he's probably looks similar to the people I've been with before. Uh,
Uh,
my mum, my mum most reminds me of Princess Diana.
oh wow, of
But
course.
I think in Heartstopper, Olivia Colman did that very nice motherly role, and she's such a talent. So I'd
Oh
love
my God, yes, she's
love to work with her. And my dad, I don't know. I think you in your head you kind of go for looks, but
uh-huh.
probably Rob Brydon,
Okay. Wow.
to be able to play, to do something with him. He's a big uh, comedy hero of mine.
Wow. And the big boss, the producer or director to help you to put all together.
I watched Shutter Island yesterday, so I want to say Scorsese, but Inglorious Bastards is my favorite film, so I'll
Okay.
go for Quentin Tarantino.
Okay. So now the question is gonna be even more difficult. So one day you're gonna wake up in the morning, having a missed call on your phone from those you just mentioned now, those names. Olivia
Okay.
Colman, the one from Stranger Things, your love party, your dad, and also the Tarantino. Which one you gonna call back straight away? You just can call back one straight away. Which
Quentin,
one? Which one?
Quentin Tarantino.
Wow, that was easy. Which one you gonna send a message? I'll call you back later. And the others, you're gonna just literally ignore them.
I text Rob Brydon. Call Quentin Tarantino. Text Rob Brydon.
Oh my God. I can't believe you ignored. I told you
You call Ronaldo.
I know you can blame me. I put this one. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, next question is, what is the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
My partner at the time of the story I've just mentioned with the bridge, when I got back home, he had, and was released. It was my birthday. It was maybe my birthday, so he had a birthday cake on the bed, and he'd like decorated the whole room with balloons and things with my mom.
Oh,
And he'd hand wrote a poem, and I think that is the most valuable thing any partner has ever given me was this poem, and it was so personal. And he's not very like an academic guy, so it was it really, I think that's probably one of the best gifts I've ever received. It was very moving.
Wow.
Especially at that time being very unstable and stuff. I think the poem, yeah.
Oh, that's very sweet. Saying that, what's the meaning of life for you, Corey, when you think about life?
I think we only get one shot being here. And I think my big driver is I want to leave, like I mentioned before, some sort of legacy. I want to leave my footprint, and that's what my meaning of life is. I think the generalistic viewpoint of life is community and relationships. With some of the stuff I've got wrong with my head, relationships are a massive factor on my mood. So I value love, debate, community, conversation, touch, like them things. I think that's what makes us human. That ability to exchange that with another being.
Talk about legacy. You'd like to leave your legacy in the words. What would be the title of your memoir when you think about, when you're going to write your life story, when you're going to put it all together? What would be the title?
I try to think of something funny.
Not right or wrong. You can. What comes to your mind when you think about, title for your memoir? Of course, through our lives, we change a lot. Point of views and things. But right now, what's?
I think shit show.
There we go. That's funny for sure. 3 questions left. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Next question for you is, what would be your ideal day? Day, yeah, ideal day.
I love when we like Christmas time, because we don't often get together as a full family. But my ideal day as me would be waking up in like a tent in nature or in one of them nice log cabins, having like a breakfast on the terrace, just looking at nature, not having my phone or anything like that. I don't know how long I'd last, to be fair, but to be in nature and then go for a lovely hike up one of the mountains in the lakes and have a few pints in a country pub after, that would be ideal day.
2 questions left. Let's do it. You like dancing?
Yeah, my degree was in musical theatre, so I'm meant to be able to dance, but I'm not a very good dancer at all.
Tell me something. In your opinion, we talk about mental health before. You shared your experience. But in your opinion, right now, what do you think is the biggest cause of mental health issues in the world right now?
I think being so vehemently online,
Mhm.
especially obviously as a man, you can kind of understand that more. And with men's mental health, there's such a an image you're expected to present as a man
Mhm.
that these people that live the expectation, that buy and taking your partner out and paying the bill and having lots of money, it's hard. And I think we, my generation, see the instant success of social media and expect to go from starting out to overnight success. And that only happens for very few people. I know it happens on OnlyFans, on social media. Anybody that's kind of trying to grow that career, there's very few people who do it overnight, but it's never kind of billed as that. And I think that's a big problem, especially being gay. I struggle with the idea of what masculinity is, or what a man is, and I'm probably deeply uncomfortable with that part of myself, because I want to be this man, the provider, that this kind of, as woke as the world is, I still think there's a big pressure on these traditionalist values of the past. And I think that's the biggest problem with men, is that they can't get to instant success, and as a culture, we're not willing to try to put the hard graft in to get that.
Wow, great point. And for you as a gay boy growing up, you know, did you have the support of your family at the time? Did you ever came out, or for you was a big tricky?
I had a lovely family. I didn't come out till I was 18, and I still probably not sure exactly what I would class myself as. Um,
Okay.
but I would say gay probably is the is what I would say to people. But I have a bit of a battle in my head sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, and it was fine. I told my mom, and I remember we almost had an argument because I thought she didn't really react. She was like, okay, and I was like Tom Daly got a bus in a parade when he came out. I was like, there's meant to be something. And I think you kind of build up in your head this fight that thankfully doesn't really happen.
Uh-huh.
I remember my dad's reaction. We were going to see Peter Rabbit, and I told him in the car,
Wow.
and he was the first person I came out to, even though we weren't particularly close compared to the rest of my family.
Uh-huh.
And he was he's quite a conservative guy, and like, he was just so supportive. And his only qualm with it was that I hadn't felt safe enough to tell him sooner.
Amazing.
So
Wow.
I'm very, very fortunate.
Wow. Beautiful. Next question for you is, what's the best gift have you ever received and why you consider that?
Best gift I received. I had some pretty cool presents over the Christmases.
One of the latest one, of course, I'm sure you had a lot and very sentimental ones as well, but one of the latest that you went like, oh, it's a good gift to have.
My sister, it wasn't for any specific reason, but she got us tickets for the Eras tour with Taylor Swift. I'm a big Taylor Swift fan. So I got
Wow.
Taylor Swift, and then I got to see Sunderland win at Wembley in the same year, both at Wembley
Wow.
Stadium. So I'm not allowed a Christmas present till I'm in my 30s, she said, because there were that much money. But and because of all the kind of shit that had gone on before, me and her were like best friends always growing up. And
Uh-huh.
my choices and my mental health decline really got in the way of our relationship. And I think that concert and going there with her and just all of it was a massive step to rebuilding the amazing friendship and relationship me and Lauren have, because she's always been
Oh,
my best friend, and it was really hard to not have her in that place in my life.
oh, sweet, sweet. So tell me, what was the highlight of Taylor Swift's concert when you went? You can choose just one. I'm sure it was a lot of moments because the songs, her presence, the music, the whole thing. However, tell me a moment that went like, oh my God, that was the highest moment of the concert, if you remember.
I think the opening, because there was a countdown, and then I remember turning around and looking at the stadium when she came out, and like the screams, and when it got to that, it was like, wow, all these people. It was just amazing. There's other things like Paul McCartney was there, John Bon Jovi was there,
Wow,
uh, Benson Boone performed as the support act that night, and fiance Travis Kelce got on stage the night we went. So we went to like a really good night. But I can remember a few times, I think we did it 3 or 4 times, I just kind of ignored the concert for a second and just looked around and was like, this is amazing.
insane.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, great. Last question, ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Last question. Before the last question, you got very emotional one point of the interview when you talk about that specific moments, where this, I would call angel, this gentleman who literally pulled you back and literally saved your life. I start get goosebumps now just saying that. And as you mentioned, you don't know his name, you don't know, you just knew that he was from Sweden. However, if you had the opportunity to send a message to him right now, maybe one day this message would get to him. You never know nowadays with social media, you know, if this message would get to him, if he would be watch this interview right this moment, what would you say to him? What comes to your mind right now if you could tell him something?
Although I didn't see it at the time, and what it means to me, I think's irrelevant. You stopped my mum from losing her only boy. You stopped my sisters from losing their brother, and you give me love in a time where I felt so empty, and everything that I hope, and I have dreams and hopes and dreams now. Everything that I achieve is credited to you, and my family will be more grateful than you could ever understand for you on that bridge that day.
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh, sweet, Corey, sweet. I just hope somehow this interview gets up to him, and I'm sure, even without that, he knows how thankful your family, your loved ones, they are, for him to be able just to be there, because I think it's just those moments where those, like, as I mentioned before, they are angels. They just literally just they're there at the right time, and he meant to be there. I just hope this interview gets to him somehow for him to know how much I appreciate for him to be there.
I'd,
Thanks,
I'd, that'd be amazing if it did.
amazing. Okay, last question for you is: do you know anyone who is living their life to the fullest?
My friends Rob and Bell, I went to see them yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and they I went to college with Rob, and he did musical theatre and stuff, and he left that all behind and did like a proper job. They got a mortgage and a car and a dog and a cat, and now they've got a little boy called Finley.
Oh,
And I went over for my tea yesterday, and I was eating, and the dog and the cat were fighting. Finley was throwing things around and screaming. The telly was on, and they were just sitting there on the couch, and I was like, guys, this is a lot, and they're like, this is our life.
Wow.
And to see Rob, especially because I've known him since I was, and we spent a lot of time together in college. We were like best friends when we were in college. To see the guy that we drove my car on his hands instead of his feet, and we just did some crazy, stupid stuff. To be a dad and so responsible, but so caring, and just both of them, Rob and Bell, to be so good at being parents.
Wow.
That I like left and thought, that's what I want from life. I want what they've got.
Wow.
It was, yeah.
Oh,
Still can't believe that man's a dad sometimes, but
that's the beauty of life. Sometimes life turn around things and get things together, and it gives us a journey that you're not expecting or changing our lives. It's just fascinating. That's what life is about. Just living and see what comes. Love it. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. I'm going to say some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Okay, quick thinking. Let's start with money,
green,
family,
love,
fear,
drones,
life,
light,
love,
partner,
religion,
Christianity,
sex,
passion,
politics,
discourse,
friendship,
family,
desire,
lust. That was the
Re-
first word that came in my head.
it's absolutely regrets,
Pain,
success.
dreams,
One word for wish,
well,
happiness.
sunshine,
Um, I'm gonna try to say right the name of your hometown. So Southern. Let's say again.
Sunderland,
One word for it.
prospect,
One word for England.
united,
One word for mental health.
change,
One word for acting.
struggling,
And of course, you worked, you still put together your documentary about Ukraine. So if you could define that in one word, what that would be?
heroes,
Beautiful.
Slava,
Let's pre-
Slava Ukraini.
yes, amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your sister for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, define Corey in one positive and one negative word only. What should say about you?
She'd say I'm loving and chaotic.
Wow. Let's play now, Corey, and the matchbox, and you can ask me a question. But okay, before asking the question, of course, 2025, my God, tomorrow is the last day of the year. It's the last day of 2025. And, 2026 is just literally opening the door, like literally like this. My question for you is, if you could define 2025 in one word only, what that would be?
Growth.
Beautiful. Okay, Corey, you can ask me a question now.
Without major success, obviously there is a lot of, you've got quite a lot of subscribers, but not in the crazy one.
Mm-hmm.
What motivates you to keep going with this project when it hasn't? I imagine if I did this, what my dreams for it would be, and when you haven't achieved that, how do you motivate yourself to keep going so consistently?
Wow, great question. And I have the answer straight away for you, Corey. People, you have no idea how fascinating people are, how we have stories to tell. You have no idea how, again, the show for me, it's a therapy every single day here for me. Of course, I would like to be successful. I feel successful with the show because, the amount of people I have on the show, the amount of stories, the amount of energy, people sharing stories here is just amazing. If I would stop doing the show now, I had material for 10 years every day, no stop, because after over 1,500 interviews on the show, I have here material forever. Like literally, I could stop now today to stop the interview, that I still would be able to carry on with the show. But that's me here, sitting here, connect with people around the globe. That's what motivates me. The big inspiration for me, it's about people. When they sit down here like you today, you showed your real Corey. You literally shared some personal events in your life that people are appreciating. People they might connect with you. People they might see, maybe they've been through the situation. Maybe they're thinking about that, and just see someone talk so open about it. Someone so beautiful, and living a life with this beautiful attitudes about life overall, because it's beautiful to see you on your social media, spreading this positivity. And like, I think it's back to the question, it's about people. I think people are amazing. You just need to, that's the best William anyone can have. When I'm sitting here on the show, that's the best of me. I even forget I'm recording. I just remember when I'm looking here on the side, because I feel like talking to a friend. I feel like talking to someone who I meant to have a talk with. I'm learning, I'm sharing. It's amazing to be here. So yeah, back to your question, it's what motivates me the most about the show. It's about people. People, they're so fascinating, and it's incredible how people from different backgrounds, different point of view, different countries, they have, something beautiful to share, something interesting to share. And I think that's what life is about. Connect with others and see that we are in the same boat. Yeah, like literally are in the same boat. And that's the biggest joy for me, for sure. So that's a big inspiration for William the Magic Box. People.
Brilliant. That's amazing.
Did you enjoy the interview, Corey?
Yeah, I feel it was like therapy.
Yes, that's the good part of the show, is about those questions, make us think, make us, to go through our memories in life. Once again, thanks again for taking the time for the interview. Thanks for being so open about your life. Thanks for, for being so incredible, open. And I think it's amazing. Thanks again. I know it's not easy sometimes to go through those memories in life, but again, it's about healing and talking and helping others as well. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you to be able to sit down here with me and make this memory that's going to be here forever. Thanks again. Regards to your family, to your friends. Again, my God, the new year just starting very soon. I just wish all the best, that you can put all your ideas together about your documentary as well. And I'm sure it's going to be, a big hit. And I'm sure people appreciate, because just the energy I can see there, it's already something wow to watch it. So keep going and never stop, and talk to others and keep going. That's the best way to be. There's only way to be, to keep going. I think that's the only way. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
It's a lesson I'm still learning, and only kind of started to get my head around probably the past year. You care much more what other people think. They're not thinking about you. They don't care. If they see your post on social media, they're going to flick past it and not remember it in half an hour's time. If you do something embarrassing, it'll be funny for a bit and it'll pass. Everything passes, and don't be too serious, because if you don't take the chances, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Totally. Give the first step, and you never know where it can lead you. You know what I mean? Amazing. Thanks so much. Okay. Have a good night. Happy New Year for you, for your family. And keep in touch. Okay. Take care.
Yeah. Lovely to see you. Bye, William. Bye.
Bye. Take care. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.